right here, this guy's got the new Ford Lightning. That's the first one I've seen in traffic. This guy's got it. And it even says Lightning right there on the side, too. I thought there was something special about it because I saw that bar of light around the side and the front. And even right behind him, this guy's got a Hummer, but he's got like the old regular H2. Oh man, I want to get closer to that truck. That was pretty, that thing was pretty cool. See if I get closer to him. This guy's got that new Ford Lightning. The Ford Lightning truck. Electric. Yeah, it's got some nice lights and stuff on the front of it too. Let me see if I get around this guy right here. Yeah, that's a pretty truck. Got it in black. You can see the light bar and all that. Wow, that's pretty cool. It felt like stopping by a Ford dealership because I wanted to take a look at the Lightning, and I figured they would have one. So I just wanted to take a really quick look at it. I don't even really want to drive it. I just wanted to see it. This is a Lariat F-150 Lightning. So this thing is $72,434. So this is actually more expensive than the Cadillac Lyriq that I pre-ordered, because that was only like $67,000 or something like that with tax. So they're saying 68 miles to the gallon, which is, you know, electric, so it doesn't, it's, you know, they've got to stop using this gallon thing. So it's 68 miles per gallon equivalent electricity or something. And what does this thing come with? It says $2,220. It has the Ford Copilot, and what else? Bed liner, $595. Liner tray, $200. $150 for all-terrain tires. So I would assume these have to be like high-load tires. And what else? So yeah, it says Lightning back there. Yeah, that's... Yeah, and it's got a lot of sockets, so you can plug stuff in. It's a big ass truck. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if they have one inside. Maybe I'll go sit in it. I don't think this one's been sold, but I don't know. And you see these things don't have grills because you don't need air for a battery under the bottom. They get their air differently. I don't know if they have one inside. I want to take a look, sit in the thing. I never cared about F-150s, but now that they're electric, now I suddenly care. That just basically goes to show you I'm so fucking bored with these goddamn gas cars, man. I'm bored. Taking a couple of pictures of this thing. This is pretty nice. Now, is this the top trim level or?
It's a Lariat, so it's right under it, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. They're saying $10,000 over sticker, so they want $82,000 for this fucking thing. But see, I was promised that my Cadillac is going to be sold at sticker. So it's dead silent. Nice. It's a nice truck, but to tell you the truth, I actually like the way the Silverado EV looks a little bit better, but this is pretty nice. And these qualify for the, what is it called? The federal tax credit?
I believe so, 7,500?
7,500, huh?
Are you familiar with the car? Do you have any,
I know enough about it, because I pretty much, I mean, I've used this sync system. Now, I do have a couple questions. The Blue Cruise thing, because I can see this thing right here. So, what is that? Now, I see it's a camera. Is that like how Cadillac does it, where it just watches your eyes, and as long as you're paying attention, you can keep your hands completely off?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly it.
These things don't have optional moonroofs?
Well, the ones they sent us don't have anything, but you could order it with it. The only thing is you have to wait like the whole wait list and everything to get it.
How long is that?
I honestly have no idea. I couldn't even tell you.
Mm.
Are you looking to trade anything in, or?
Well, actually, that's a very interesting question.
That go around a little bit.
Oh, turn it off. Yeah. Because it's funny, when I was looking over there, I just thought all of these things were identifiable by the light bar here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the base model, like the XLs don't come with that light.
What's the top trim?
It should be the Platinum, I believe.
Platinum, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. My uncle has the Expedition Platinum. He pretty much had everything. He's got the TVs and everything in the back. Okay, so this one has the light bar, but that one doesn't. So what's that? That one's a base. What do they call that?
A Pro.
That's a Pro.
Yeah.
Ugh. And this one is...
Hilarious.
Okay, so it's the same as the other one, no moonroof. Oh. I did not know there was a difference at first.
Yeah, the base model is pretty much bare bones.
How much are these?
I believe, let me double check. I don't want to give you the wrong
Yeah, just
answer.
look at the stack. Yeah. So the Lariats come with the heated, cooled seats. Yeah, this is 71. 42.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So these range on the base is what?
It's pretty much the same thing as like
All of them are the same range?
with the standard range battery. Get about 220. The extended gets around 310.
So a Lariat is extended?
No, it all depends. The extended range battery is a standalone option.
Oh, that's an option. But that would come if you ordered a Platinum.
Yes, exactly. That comes standard with Platinum.
I got you. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. It's like when I get one, I want it, whatever I have, I want 300 minimum.
Okay.
300 range minimum. Now, does Ford install the charger into your house, or do they have a subcontract?
So we work with Sunrun.
Sunrun?
Yeah, which installs all the charging cables and everything in your house.
Oh. Okay, cool. No, up until I visited just now, that they had a base model F-150, and I didn't know that it was actually relatively inexpensive. It's only $42,000. My thing is, I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm not paying any overcharge. I learned my lesson by watching my friends get fucked on Hellcat overcharges, so I'm not doing it at all. However, what I will say is, while I'm waiting for my Lyric, I was considering possibly having a second vehicle to replace the size of this thing so I could carry stuff, because usually I always have like maybe 2 cars. So I was thinking about getting rid of everything gas and going electric. But to tell you the truth, I like this car. The only thing I would add to it is if you could get a ram bar design on that back, I would add a ram bar. But other than that, the Silverado EV, I actually like the way that one looks, even though this one feels better and I actually trust Ford. Yeah, I have about equal trust with Ford and GM. But either one of these, I'd take over the Cybertruck. But I like it. This is very nice. There at the Town and Country Dodge, you can see that they have a T-Rex in gray. They have a bunch of these boring scat packs, but they do have a T-Rex. My thing is, it's like the T-Rex, I remember when that thing first came out, it was like the same exact issues that I always had with that car. I'm always going to have. It's too big. I can't use that car in Manhattan. I love that car. I love the way it looks, or I should say that truck. I love the way it looks. I like everything about the way that car looks, but the thing about it is it's way too big. It's like if you knew the situations that I have to drive in, it's like anything larger than a Grand Cherokee, it's like you'd be tearing people's mirrors off and shit. It's like, that's too much for me. So I'm not interested. Oh, what's this guy got? This guy's got one of these. It looks like I think he put a kit on that thing, because that doesn't look like a regular. It doesn't look like a regular wide body to me. I think that guy put a kit on there. Yeah, it's like, that's too much truck for me. I don't need that much truck. I don't even really think I really want a truck, but I wouldn't mind getting a truck. It's just that I'm not crazy about getting a truck. I've never had an open, like, I've never had an F-150 before. I've never had like one of those open flatbeds before. I've never actually had that. So it's like, it would be something new. It would be something very new. I don't, it's just,
FTX is a perfect example. If this motherfucker was driving a nice fat Lambo and he had a big diamond watch and was living a life which a millionaire should live, I would have trusted him a bunch more. But when he sat there and said, I only drive a Corolla and I give all my money away and I just try and hoard it all to just help people, an alarm went off in my head, because everybody I know who is like this 100% of the time in my human experience ends up being full of shit. Full of shit. What he is a fucking dork who wanted to be powerful and influential. He realized that money won't stop him being a nerd, because the girl he's hanging around with is still getting plowed by his fucking blockchain dev. So he wanted to have power, and when you want power, you need unlimited money, so he became infinitely greedy, trying to get as much money as possible to buy political parties, pretend he's doing charitable acts, just have influence and control over other people, then stands up and goes, I drive an old car and I have a cheap t-shirt. And you know what? You dumb fucks believed him. You sat there and go, oh yeah, he's a good person. He won't famoose me for all my money. He doesn't care about money. People like him care about money more than people like me, because people like me spend our money. Beware the frugal man. I ain't got a single fucking frugal friend. Not one. When we go out, we hit it big.
this video really wasn't going to be about the Ford F-150 Lightning, but really it was mostly just to talk just a very little bit about gasoline, oil, dividend-paying stocks. Now, as you probably heard me mention a couple of times, and I should have done this already, but the thing about it is, because of YouTube and its bullshit algorithm, they've pretty much made it so I'm not extremely excited about making videos as I used to be, because now with the change in the algorithm, they've basically hurt subscriber counts. They've also hurt viewership. And the thing about it is, YouTube's basically killing itself. So you know that old saying, you go woke, you go broke. So my only thing is, I'm still going to continue YouTubing, and I'm still going to continue making my stock videos every now and then. And the reason why is because this is still a tax strategy for me. As long as I have filed 1099 as a journalist with YouTube, it allows me to use business tax deductions to write off my expensive vacations as business trips. As long as I'm vlogging and writing about where I'm going, it's technically considered work. So YouTube has a purpose, even if it's not directly related to just the immediate benefit of getting money. Now, the majority, as for people who followed me for a while, because I know I have new subscribers and everything, but for people who follow me, a lot of my YouTube money I've invested, and I use that to build my portfolios. Some people like the investment style where they take their paycheck and they take maybe $200 or $300 out of it, and they use that money in order to invest in stock or whatever. Some people wait until tax season and they take large chunks of money and they use that to invest during tax season, which, as I've pointed out, a lot of these companies have timed their stock splits to coincide with tax returns in order for them to maximize investment into the companies. Some people, however, take their what is called disposable, which I don't believe the word should be disposable, or their discretionary income, and they invest that. I've used YouTube to invest discretionary income. So what I did was, every time we've had a major crash, specifically March 2020, and what was it, 2008, 2009, when we had the bailout under Obama, that's when I piled into Ford. And basically, what is the saying? They say never let a tragedy go to waste or something. So basically, yes, during every single major crash, I've found something to invest in that was down that I believed in. Specifically, it usually was a tech stock. But now, more recently, within the last 3 years, I focused on energy like gas, oil, electric vehicles, and electric vehicle support equipment such as batteries, lithium mining, and so forth and so on. So, as you can see, sorted for high to low, SLCA is moving back up. And as I told you, that after we had this election, and once that farce of an election, that cheat by mail, once that was over, I told you that that's when the real recession was going to begin. That recession has ultimately been centered around energy. When we put those sanctions on Russian oil, as I read to you in a article a couple of days ago, Russia was sending us 700,000 barrels of oil. Russia was sending Europe tons and tons and tons of oil and natural gas. As soon as we started this, this Cuban Missile Crisis like NATO expansion and movement towards Russia, and Russia decided to fight back, and we put sanctions on Russia, well, all of that cheap energy has basically stopped flowing. Now, because it stopped flowing, you remember, you've watched my videos if you've been here long enough. During, I believe it was February through March, oil, gas skyrocketed. Everything went up. You paying $5, $6, $7 a gallon of gas. I still can't understand how the Democrats could have won the Senate first of all, the Republicans look like they're about to take the House of Representatives, which is fine by me. You may not have gotten a full red wave, but because the Republicans hold the House and the Supreme Court, that's enough to throw enough wrenches into the system to slow these Democrats' leftist, radical, insane welfare spending agenda. It's enough to slow them down. It's not enough to stop them. It's enough to slow them down. Had the Republicans taken the House and the Senate, yeah, that would have absolutely stopped them. But apparently people felt that having the right to kill their babies through abortion, they felt that that was more important than, the fact that gas prices are literally making it so you can't basically afford to fucking live, which I'll never understand. But then again, you're not dealing with intelligent people here. You're dealing with a bunch of fools. So I'm not going to rant about that too long. Oil and gas are way up. There were people who kept asking me, they were like, oh yeah, where should I put my money? Should I put in oil, gas? Yeah, energy, I wish you could have gotten in when I kept telling you to get in back in March 2020. But what I can say about these energy stocks is the majority of them, as you can see, paid these dividends. And the dividend payments, and a lot of people don't really understand dividends, like people who are new to investing. The thing that's important to remember about dividend payments, like when you look at Sunoco, which is pretty much the highest here, but when you look at these dividend payments, the thing that's important to understand is you're getting a small percentage per share. See, some people, they don't understand that. So when you see me buying 100 shares or 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares on something that pays dividends, which is, obviously very expensive, you're getting paid a small dividend for each dividend period per share. Now, my dividend payouts tend to be between October and February. There are some that pay periodically like Sunoco. So basically, by putting more and more money into these things, first of all, the transition from gas to electric is going to be slow, mostly because of these minerals that we need in order to build these motors. Now, there are options because, it's so sad. A lot of these people are so fucking stupid that they don't understand electric vehicles. Now, you know me. I make videos. I drive all of these things. I drive every electric vehicle that comes out. And the thing about it is I take the time to actually learn about the technology. So first of all, I don't take road trips. If I needed to take a road trip, I would have a Chrysler Pacifica minivan and I would use that. This way, if I have my uncle or my mom or somebody's laying all over the seats and they're eating food in the car and they're spilling shit all over, I couldn't care less. I have an uncle, takes his shoes off, puts his feet all over the damn carpet and everything, and his feet are all crusty and all this. And I'm like, you would never be able to do that in my Cadillac. It's not going to happen. So my thing is, again, if I was going to do a road trip, I'd have a Chrysler Pacifica minivan or some other minivan. It could be a Kia Carnival. Honestly, I don't care. The only thing I would probably do is tint the windows so people don't see me in there. And that's about it. But then again, you don't really need to tint your windows because nobody's looking. You're driving a minivan. Nobody's looking at you. So it's not really a big deal. But when it comes to comfort and when it comes to ride quality, when it comes to fuel economy, yeah, minivan is pretty much your best go. It's also, spacious. Like if I want to fold down the seats and just lay in the back of the car across the third, second row, even the first row in some cases, yeah, I would have a minivan for road trips. I wouldn't be using an electric car for that. I certainly wouldn't be using a luxury car for that. And my interior's got white seats, so I'm going to have it fully nice and luxurious, just like these people with these Tesla Model Ys and 3s. But the bottom line is, these newer electric cars like the BMW i7, some of them are using brush motors and they're using excited field coils in order to make their motors. So they're not using permanent earth minerals for their motors, for their magnets. They're not using those earth minerals. So keep in mind, there's more than one way to build an electric car. You don't necessarily have to have the latest in rare earth minerals. You can also have brushed motors or excited field coils. There's different ways to make a motor. There's a lot of ways to make a motor, electric motor specifically. So there are lots of these little companies that I invested in for their electric vehicle technology. I'm not going to talk about this too long, but the bottom line is oil stocks are doing great. They're doing fabulous. Very few of them have declined. Most of them have stable high prices, as you can see. It's like these things have continued to rise. Like I told people to buy TTI and NBR and all these different ones, CPE. I told people to buy these things when these things were only like 20 cents and 30 cents because oil went negative and crashed. The gains and returns that I made are unbelievable. Like, it's kind of funny. Nowadays, if somebody says, yeah, I made 10,000 off of crypto or 15,000 off of crypto, I actually believe them. I don't really care, but I understand that it's really that easy to run money off of these things when the pump is on. So what I did was I got into oil stocks when the pump was off. And once the pump went on, went straight to the moon. And you're going to understand what I'm talking about when I pull up in my brand new electric Cadillac. Because I'm buying my electric Cadillac $70,000 cash money. So when I pull up in that Cadillac, that's when you'll understand what I'm talking about. So the sad thing about it is these crypto losers and these scam artists like Bankman-Fried and Mashinsky, they, in order to prove how much money they made, well, Bankman-Fried was a little bit different because he was trying to pretend like he was helping people. He was trying to pretend that he was noble and all that bullshit. And then you found out the guy's the biggest scam artist since Bernie Madoff. But then you had other people like Mashinsky, and they're buying luxury houses, luxury cars, and this, that, and other. I already got my houses. And neither of my houses are luxury. I promise you that. My houses are not luxury. I got cheap houses right before COVID, and now both of my houses are worth $700,000 simply because of the escalation in real estate prices here in New York. So my property has escalated in value simply because it's just become ridiculously unaffordable here. But the rest of these people, they run around buying Lamborghinis and this, that, and other. And that was basically the symbol that I've made it in crypto to buy a Lamborghini. Nobody ain't buying no Lamborghinis now because they've lost 60% of their value. The Lamborghini tow truck came to get those Lamborghinis because that crypto fell through the floor. So too bad for you. Meanwhile, my gas and oil stocks have been going to the moon. To the moon, Alice. So anyway, yeah, that's what my oil list looks like. However, what I did for you was I made another list to show you the new investments that I have in diesel stock. Diesel fuel stocks. These were the ones that I picked. Why did I pick them? Well, the majority of them pay dividends, and the other two were just cheap when I bought them. So basically, the highest dividend payer here is 6.10% KMI. And then right after that, there's CVI, 4.23% dividend. And then there's SU, ODC, FFVLO, and all of those pay 3.8 or lower. Now, as you know, it's never a good idea to just pile into something because you see that the dividend price is high. It's better to diversify. So I diversify. I try to buy a little of everything, especially when it's cheap. But as you can, and VLO is very important because that's Valero. You may know Valero because Valero and Citgo are related in that both of those are related to Venezuela oil and gas. So Valero, I always wanted to bet on. That's why you've heard me talk so much about why America should be more friendly to, Venezuela. So this way we can pump their oil instead of having to go to these goddamn Saudis. But Valero, Citgo, what is this? It says Valero owns 15 petroleum refineries located in the United States, USA, Canada, and United Kingdom. The company is also a joint venture partner in Diamond Green Diesel, DGD, which owns and operates a renewable diesel plant located in the Gulf Coast region of the United States. See, realistically, I think the next play that I'm going to make, especially when tax season rolls around, because when tax season comes around, I should get about $10,000, give or take, back in my tax return. What I'm going to do is I'm going to invest in refineries. Specifically, I'm going to locate refinery stocks, and I'm going to specifically go after refineries. Refineries and making it so that we can't have newer and better refineries. That's really where your oil, gas, energy crunch comes from. Diesel refineries, gasoline refineries. Now, I'm going to be looking deeply into it and studying more and more about these individual stocks because that's what I'm focused on. I want diesel and gasoline refineries. So when I do my, April investments, I specifically think what I'll do is I'll probably drop half my money, $5,000, into refineries. Obviously, the other half of my money, I will probably either tuck away for my upcoming trip to Bora Bora, or I'll do something else with it. And that's basically that. I mean, since the election is over, everything has basically rallied a bit. Everything's basically rallied. The only things that haven't really rallied is Chinese stocks, and that's mostly because of Donald Trump and the Congress of the time. They put together that Holding Foreign Countries Accountability Act together, and that ultimately cost Donald Trump his presidency. See, if I was Trump, there's no fucking way I would have fucked with China. I would have kept my mouth shut. I would wait until after I won the presidency a second term, then I would have talked shit about China. But you know what, and you notice it more and more. People like Kyrie Irving, people like Kanye West, there's a lot of egotistical people out there who just don't get it. It's like once you have all of your money and you've made all you can make, that's when you turn around and talk shit. You don't do it while the people that you're talking shit about are signing your goddamn paychecks. It's like, is there any patience left in these people? Like, you know how they say patience is a virtue? It's one thing to show yourself and then to just accept your punishment. It's another thing to wait silently like a coiled rattlesnake and wait until the enemy is at its weakest and then strike them in their heels. These people don't have patience. I'll never understand it. But then again, you look at how egotistical they are. I mean, they marry these women who are basically prostitutes on the internet. They're basically strippers. There's no way I could have married Kim Kardashian after she got pumped on videotape by Ray J. I wonder about certain people. It's like, what kind of person are you where you have that low value for yourself that you're literally associating with this? Like, I don't get it. But you know what? That's his choice. It's America. You can do whatever you want. Now you can suffer in silence for all I care. But my thing is, patience is a virtue. Sometimes you have to remain coiled and silent like a rattlesnake and wait until the cowboy passes by before you strike his heel. But you can't show yourself, because if you show yourself, he's going to fucking shoot you. And then when he shoots you, you're just going to die. You're a dead rattlesnake now. No, 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 no. You have to wait patiently and quietly before you strike. And there's some of these people, they just don't get it. And that ultimately, a lot of people always criticize me. Oh, yeah, well, you turned on Trump. Yeah, he fucked up my money. I used to love Chinese stocks. I made a lot of money on Alibaba. As soon as Trump started that bullshit, all of it started declining. Everything went down. All of their stocks went down. Everything. Alibaba, Neo, Candy. It's like all you had to do was keep your fucking mouth shut. And you could have just waited, but you didn't. And you cost us money. And no. I shouldn't say us, because we're not in this together. No. You cost me money. As soon as you cost me money, it's time to go. Same thing goes for Joe Biden. It's time for you to go. There won't be a second term, buddy. Either your brain's going to turn to mush from dementia within the next 2 years, or you're going to be taken out of office using the 25th Amendment. It's one or the other. You don't really have a choice. But when you start costing me money, it's time for you to go. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I don't care about anything else. They say that there's no permanent friends or allies. There's only permanent interests. My interests are making more money. And if you fuck that up, it's time for you to go. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So that's it. That's all I really had to say. I didn't really have that much to say. I just wanted to get that out so I could throw this little video together and put this up on YouTube so that they could continue to shadow ban us and make it so that we don't get that many views. Meanwhile, they're letting people like Stephen Graham and Mashinsky, and they're letting Bankman-Fried, they're letting them run up their views, and they're letting them get as much viewership as they want. And they're up there pumping and dumping fucking Ponzi schemes, and they're screwing everybody else over who doesn't go along with their program. So that's what we're dealing with. And I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going just the way I'm going. I'm going to keep using YouTube for tax strategy. No matter how much viewership I get, no matter how many subscribers I get, no matter how much money I make per month, I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'll still keep getting my Chinese endorsers to give me free products to put on my channel. I just got contacted by another one. They were going to offer me, what was it? They were going to offer me some electric appliance. I forget what it was. So I was in contact with them about doing that, because as you know on my channel, like, they've given me all that free Kotek stuff. Kotek and a couple of other Chinese companies have given me a lot of free stuff. And it's sad because the American companies pretty much ignore me. You know, they don't give me anything. And it's really disgusting. It's like, as much shit as I buy, I've got to get everything from the Chinese, or I got to get it from other countries. It's like ridiculous. And at least they recognize the importance of our channels. However, what I also should say is that because Google decided to go woke, their ad revenue has been shrinking across the board, as I mentioned in a different article. So the sad thing about it is, as time goes on, especially as this recession deepens, YouTube, Facebook, all of them are losing money. And as you know, Facebook's lost a lot of money. I think they've lost over... I think it's been over $600 billion when their stock dipped below $100 a share. It's like they've lost a lot of money. So my thing is, if they want to keep up these stupid practices, then they'll just ruin the entire thing. And I've seen this before. I used to write articles for ePinions, shopping.com, and then they got bought out by eBay. And eBay basically decimated them. And our revenue, I was making $700 a month, sometimes $900 a month on shopping.com alone, not even YouTube. I was making equal amounts on YouTube and shopping.com. Sometimes I was bringing home $3,000 a month for doing reviews. But when shopping.com went down, that extra $700, that extra $800 just went whoop, just gone. And then with YouTube, it was like YouTube. There was a time when I was making like $500 every 2 days. And YouTube, they've basically killed their advertisement. It's like the only people who can really make money now are the really big advertisers. all these Manosphere and these Passport Bros, most of their channels can't make any money because what I think some of them haven't realized is their content is shadow banned. What YouTube does is they drive your audience away from your channel. As you know, even people like Just Pearly Things, she got demonetized. She got kicked off of TikTok. She got demonetized on some of her videos. And the thing about it is some of the content, my thing is, why are you demonetizing these people? These people have a lot of subscribers and they're driving an audience, but YouTube just doesn't seem to care. So my thing is, it's just like you hear a lot of YouTubers say, if my YouTube income disappeared tomorrow, I'd still be okay. Well, that's exactly how I feel about it. If my YouTube income disappeared, I'm still going to do what I can to use YouTube as a tax strategy. As long as I continue making I think it's $600 per year, you have to report it to the IRS as 1099. But see, what a lot of people, and I've tried to teach you this, what a lot of people don't understand is the business tax deductions that you get from making these videos. And even if you're just talking stocks, if you're making these videos and somehow you manage to make $600 a year and you're filing 1099, that allows you to open up business tax deductions with your CPA. That allows you to write off. I write off just about everything. It's like I can buy anything I want and write it off. It's crazy. I can write off guns and bullets when I buy. You saw my brand new Desert Eagle? These bullets are $2.50 each. I can write this stuff off as continuing education as long as I go to an NRA range. It's incredible. But the write-offs only come during tax season. And I made a video about this about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken, about how you can use YouTube for that. So all I'm doing is, for my new subscribers, I'm basically just trying to give you some suggestions about, like, I've given you credit card suggestions. I've given you credit help suggestions. I've given you mortgage purchase suggestions. I've given you car loan purchase suggestions. And, now I'm giving you like YouTube strategies. But you got to use, every dime you spend should be treated like an investment. Every single dime you spend, whether it's a car, whether it's your education, whether it's your house, all of it should be treated as an investment. And that's just the way I roll. So if you've got any comments about the video, if you've got any specific question about these stocks you want to ask, just put your question in the comment section. I'll be sure to get to it.